8 details you didn't notice in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Even the most die-hard Potterheads miss things when watching the Harry Potter movies, and I'm pretty confident that you yourself would have missed at least one thing. When Warner Brothers announced, so many years ago, that they were going to be releasing the Harry Potter series as movies, fans all around the world wondered how the franchise was going to turn out. Of course, now having all the movies released, we know that the result was explosive, and the Harry Potter movies will always remain some of the best. Each Harry Potter movie from the franchise was made with immersive attention to detail and design, and some of these details were very well hidden in the background as little Easter eggs. So because of this, in today's video, we're going to be going over 8 details you didn't notice in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Make sure to watch the whole video and leave a like if you do enjoy, and why not consider subscribing? Because if you do, you could get a shout out. But let's just go ahead and get right into it. One of the most exciting sequences from the whole of the Harry Potter franchise is when Harry faces off against a vicious Hungarian Wormtail in the Triwizard Tournament. Harry had to retrieve a golden egg that was being guarded by a very aggressive dragon in order to complete the first event of the legendary tournament. The night before the first event, dragons can be seen in small cages being poked and prodded by their handlers, and they are exploited for visiting entertainment the next day in the form of the Triwizard Tournament. Did you ever notice, though, that the director hid an Easter egg in the credits of the movie? He didn't want people to think that any magical creatures were harmed during the filming of this movie, and so if you had the patience and you waited until the very end of the Goblet of Fire, you would have caught an amazing detail that was added within the credits in the form of a small line that reads, "No dragons were harmed in the making of this movie." A very small detail to add to a very exciting scene of events.
Lose a leg or an arm, pack it in all together, never!
The Triwizard Tournament was the main focus of the Goblet of Fire because it was a huge event that involved students from 3 wizarding schools coming together to compete. There's a particular scene from the Goblet of Fire that is one of the most memorable ones from the entire movie, as we see students from Beauxbaton's Academy of Magic display their impressive dancing skills. However though, did you notice that near the climax of the Goblet of Fire, where the students are preparing for the third and final event, the girls are doing a cheerleading routine that looks very familiar? The routine that they're doing is actually a dance style called the Macarena, and it's probably the last dance you would ever expect such stylish witches to perform. But to give the witches credit, they did make the Macarena look pretty amazing.
Pumpkins, prepare yourselves!
There are so many instances of foreshadowing throughout the Harry Potter franchise, but there's one in particular that hints towards a crucial element of the final 2 movies. There's a very brief moment during Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire where Dumbledore consults Harry on the truth behind Barty Crouch Jr. before the Triwizard Tournament's final event. The two are inside of Dumbledore's office, and there's a particular shot where Dumbledore turns his face to a glass display where we can see a variety of magical objects. One particular object can be seen to the left, which is a pyramid with a circle inside of it, which is, of course, an insight for the Deathly Hallows becoming a crucial part later on in the franchise.
Every time I get close to an answer, it slips away. It's maddening.
The beautifully designed Yule Ball scene in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is one of the most visually stunning from the entire series. The scene manages to capture both the awkward nature of school dances and the magic of the Hogwarts lifestyle at the same time. However, there is something very particular about how Harry Potter is portrayed during this scene. It's quite difficult to catch, but Radcliffe was filmed in a different way from the rest of the actors and actresses, and that's because Radcliffe had some trouble learning the dance choreography in time for filming. This was later revealed in a behind-the-scenes documentary. Because the actor was having trouble with all the hard work he was going through, filmmakers decided to let him off and only took shots of him from above the waist, so that viewers were not able to see any mistakes in his footwork.
May I have your
arm, leg?
If you paid close attention during The Prisoner of Azkaban, Peter Pettigrew, aka Wormtail, transforms into his rat form and leaves his clothes behind on the Hogwarts grounds and scurries off. But in the following film, The Goblet of Fire, he returns with his outfit back on. How is that even possible? We see with our own eyes that when he transforms into Scabbers, he leaves his clothes behind. Maybe there's some kind of secret spell for this? To be honest, that wouldn't really surprise me because their whole world is about magic after all.
Dark Lord shall rise again.
Without a doubt, everybody noticed how amazing Hermione's dress was for the Yule Ball. But as a little fact that you probably wouldn't know, the dress that she was wearing wasn't the first one to be designed. The costume designer actually designed a multitude of different dresses before everyone was finally satisfied and picked the one that we see in the movie. As well as this, within one of the very first takes of this moment, Emma Watson actually fell down the stairs. During the events of the Triwizard Tournament, there's a task where students have to dive to deep depths and save somebody that they love, who is stuck at the bottom of a lake. You may be wondering to yourself, how was this filmed? Well, it was done in a massive swimming pool, with all the actors wearing gas tanks so that they would be able to be under the water for long periods of time. Daniel Radcliffe spent almost 42 minutes underwater all at once, so it's a good thing they were using these tanks, otherwise this would have taken way too long to film. Up until Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, every other movie opens up with Harry in some way. But staying true to the book, the Goblet of Fire movie opens up with a scene involving the Tom Riddle house. You might not have noticed this because it's something very particular and small, but it's pretty cool to see.
Nagini tells me the old Muggle caretaker is standing just outside the door.
But there we have it. 8 details you didn't notice in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell located right next to the subscribe button so you'll never miss another one of our videos. And with that being said, we will see you in the next one.